Hark the voice of Jesus calling, who will go and where today? Fields are wide, the harvest waiting, who will bear the sheaves away? Loud and long the Master calleth, rich reward he offers free. Who will answer gladly, saying, Here am I, O Lord, send me. If you cannot cross the ocean and the hidden land explore, you can find the hidden nearer. You can help them at your door. If you cannot speak like angels, if you cannot preach like Paul, you can tell the love of Jesus. You can say he died for all. If you cannot be the watchman standing high on Zion's walls, pointing out the path to heaven, offering life and peace to all. With your praise and with your bounties, you can do what heaven demands. You can tell that faithful Aaron, holding up the prophet's hand. While the souls of men are dying, and the Master calls for you, let none hear you idly saying, There is nothing I can do. Gladly take the task he gives you. Let his work your pleasure be. Answer quickly when he calleth, Here am I, O Lord, send me.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate the beautiful singing. Thank you to everybody participating. We are now going to commence with the President's report. I know earlier we anticipated that we were going to start on the Constitution, but as officers we decided that was probably not wise to do that now at night when the hour is late. So we are going to start with the President's report. It'll be a video report, and then we will entertain questions. We are hoping to close the session sometime soon after 9. We don't believe in going till the wee hours of the morning. We also have Spirit of Prophecy guidance along that line, and I think our thinking deteriorates when it's too late. Amen. So, without further ado, we are going to call on our division president, Dr. Akombwa, to please come to the front. It is our normal practice for the leader in the higher organization to chair when the president of the union is giving his report as an independent person. So he will chair, and we will watch the report. Thank you very much. So IT, you can roll the report. Thank you.
Welcome to the Southern Africa Union Session 2022. As we gather to transact God's business, we acknowledge that the Lord has led us since 2015. The accomplishments over the last 7 years owe much to the faithfulness of the departmental directors, committed employees, and lay members of the SAU. From Katimamulilo in the north, to Cape Town in the south, to Durban in the east, Ondangwa in the far west, Eswatini, Lesotho, and St. Helena Island, the blessings of the Lord can be seen in His church. Ellen White states in The Faith I Live By, God loves His children with infinite love. To Him, the dearest object on earth is His church. Therefore, let us have faith that God is going to carry the noble ship which bears the people of God safely into port. As we meet, we need to grasp the urgency of the times, striving to reach the millions who do not know Christ. A disturbing trend has been the decrease in membership during this quinquennium. The percentage growth over the last 6 years was 14.2%. However, after showing gains in 2015 to 2020, the membership dropped in 2021. The loss is attributed to death, transfer, or missing members. There have been encouraging developments such as the outreach to the cities which focused on Johannesburg with the Trans-Orange Conference TOC, Northern Conference of South Africa NCSA, SAU, and Southern Africa Indian Ocean Division SID collaborating in this effort. In addition, 1,250,641 books were distributed through the Missionary Book of the Year program. New forms of outreach are taking place on Cow TV and Bay TV. Innovations by the Voice of Prophecy Bible School include cell phone evangelism and other ways of reaching out to others. In the area of finances, COVID and other factors have produced some worrying trends. A steady decline has been seen in tithes and offerings over the last 5 to 6 years. With inflation growing by approximately 6% per annum, this should have shown a corresponding increase, but financial growth is flat. While membership has grown by approximately 4% annually, the tithe income is static. Various factors are to blame, such as increasing unemployment and poverty levels, old and faithful members dying out, a decline in spirituality amongst our members. The delay in returning the 31.5% of trust funds from several conferences places an enormous strain on the SAU, resulting in decreased operational resources. The SAU has downsized staff through retrenchments and retirements, and vacant posts have not been filled but assigned to existing personnel. Pastor salaries have been affected in the field, with some conferences implementing salary cuts to survive. Arising from COVID-19, meetings via virtual platforms have been introduced. Conference executive committees, union committees, and institutional events have used this medium, which has proven to be a cost-saving way of conducting the church's business. We thank the Lord for providing a way for His work to continue during the pandemic restrictions. Looking at the departments at the SAU, the Stewardship Department has diligently promoted stewardship through sermons, seminars, and conventions. However, despite these efforts, we still have a low per capita rate of offerings, standing at 4 Rand per member per Sabbath. ADRA South Africa, the development and relief arm of the church, has been active in distributing food parcels to the most vulnerable in the Free State and Eastern Cape in partnership with various providers. Many flood-stricken households in KwaZulu-Natal received food parcels. In addition, ADRA also assisted vulnerable communities in establishing community gardens to ensure food security. ADRA Eswatini is active in feeding schemes, chicken and goat farming projects, and establishing community gardens to ensure food security. Meals on Wheels Community Services continue to fight hunger in South Africa through donations from government departments, companies, and private individuals. In commemorating World Food Day on the 15th of October, Meals on Wheels opened an agricultural school on the MOWCS farm in Bloemfontein, named after the late director, Drina Engelbrecht, to train youth in food provision. The KZN FC office delivered more than 200 food parcels to the less privileged and child-headed families in Tunzuma. The beneficiaries were grateful for this kind of gesture. SEDMED is registered with the Council for Medical Schemes and operates under the Medical Schemes Act 131 of 1998, efficiently supplying medical cover to all Adventist employees in the SAU. Recently, Namibia has formed their own medical aid scheme. The GC and SID working policy determines that church properties are held in the name of an appropriate non-denominational corporate entity, not by individuals, trustees, or local congregations. Within the SAU, SEDCOM, a non-profit company, holds the fixed property of the SDA Church. The board of SEDCOM reports to the SEDCOM membership, which comprises all conference officers, institutional leadership, and the SAU Executive Committee. The directors of SEDCOM do not receive any compensation, dividends, or bonuses in whatever form for fulfilling their duties and responsibilities towards SEDCOM. In pensions, the principal officer and her team manage this vital and demanding portfolio. Retirement savings continue to be ethically invested with no alcohol, tobacco, or gambling shares. God has honored our faithfulness with remarkable returns despite difficulties in the local and global economy. With the change in tax laws in Namibia, Lesotho, and Eswatini, they are now obliged to join pension funds in those countries. The Education Department's rollout of a standardized school uniform, logo, and badge for all the schools is highlighted. Bible textbooks for grades R to 12 and CAPS-compliant science textbooks for primary schools have been written from an Adventist perspective for use in the schools. Study bursaries of 23.6 million rand have been provided. The fully registered B.Ed Foundation Phase program at Helderberg College, which has 70 students enrolled, was started in January 2018. 5 new primary schools were established and 1 school was brought back into the Adventist education system. Grade 12 results in our schools have improved from an average of 86.8% in 2015 to 91.2% in 2021. The Ministerial Association was headed by Pastor Maligudu, who was called to serve the Northern Conference as president. Currently, Pastor Trevor Kunene fulfills this role. Over the last 6 years, Elders and Deacons Conventions, a Bible conference, and a ministerial retreat for our pastors and their wives was held. Pastor Brian Mundia led the Sabbath School Personal Ministries Department until he was called as president of the Namibia South Conference in December 2021. Pastor Ngwenya is currently managing the department. The department has conducted training workshops and seminars for Sabbath School and Personal Ministries leaders in conferences, districts, and churches. The Communication Department of the SAU has acquired the full-time services of Kudachi Jande as a media specialist. His expertise has benefited the department to gain international recognition when a MOWCS video report was featured on Adventist News Network ANN at the end of 2021. In addition, the Communication Department ensures that news items, announcements, video clips, and online programming are shared on the SAU Facebook page. The task of producing and translating Bible Study Guides (BSG) is also housed in the Communication Department. During the pandemic, the South African Department of Basic Education proposed that makeup classes be held on Saturdays. The SAU Public Affairs and Religious Liberty Department initiated an intervention. By God's grace, the Government Education Department, in acceding to the request of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, cancelled all Saturday classes for the whole country. We thank God for this intervention. Most of our conferences now have designated Senior Youth Ministries directors. In addition to the SAU Youth Congress and Ambassador Connection, conferences have conducted youth rallies, Ambassador Friendship Days, Ambassador Mission Trips, and Youth Alive programs. In Junior Youth Ministries, the SAU Pathfinder Camporee was held. In addition, the number of Community Pathfinder Clubs and Community Adventurer Clubs, especially in non-Adventist primary schools in different parts of the SAU territory, has increased. A highlight of the public campus ministries was the establishment of SADA-SIM structures in private institutions of higher learning. In contrast, previously it had operated only in public universities and colleges. 2 sessions of orientation to clinical pastoral education training were conducted in the chaplaincy department. With the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, the WM department quickly adjusted, using technology to enhance its programs. Activities which women's ministries conducted physically and virtually were evangelistic retreats and congresses, during which 716 souls gave their lives to Jesus. Week of prayer readings have been written and circulated. Physical and virtual GC leadership certification level 1 to 4 training sessions were also conducted. Mental health training, thinking well, living well, also empowered women to withstand COVID-19 related issues. The strength of women's ministries lies in prayer ministry and Bible study. Women of all ages daily participate in prayer bands, Bible studies, and devotions. In children's ministries, the One Child, One Bible project encouraged all children to own a Bible. Conferences received donations of Bibles and Bible bags for the SAU. There was the 777 Prayer Kids Initiative. Children's Bible and prayer conferences were held. Music festivals in SAU and conferences were a great highlight. Annual vacation Bible schools attracted many non-Adventist children. Children are involved in Global Children's Day and Project Love Packs each year. Many children's resources were available to all conference directors during advisories. It was with great sadness that we lost Pastor June Negre to cancer in 2017. Dr. Thabo Molutswane, Health Ministries Director, experienced some health challenges, thus depriving the department of the required attention. Various health initiatives of the SID were implemented and training was conducted. However, due to the difficulties experienced, the department did not reach its full potential this term. Pastor June Negre was also the Family Ministries Director until his passing in 2017. Pastor Mandla Lupondwana continued the work in the Family Life Department. A 10-module Family Ministries certification program, a training program for local church family ministries leaders, was rolled out. We are excited about the launch of this Adventist Nurture Handbook as a resource for families. The publishing work in the SAU has been challenged on many fronts, but the momentum for mission increases daily. The number of literature evangelists has decreased by more than 50%. The economic downturn and the hard lockdowns have harmed the publishing ministry. Retail sales during this quinquennium have also dropped significantly. On the positive side, 613 baptisms were recorded. In addition, the Missionary Book of the Year distribution continues despite hard lockdowns and social distancing. Helderberg College of Higher Education celebrated its 125th anniversary in 2018. In 2019, the Adventist Accrediting Association visited and evaluated the college and awarded them a 5-year certificate of accreditation ending December 31, 2024. Theology faculty lecturers hosted a symposium on Doctrine on the Trinity and Preparation for the End Time. We thank God for the leadership of Dr. Vincent Injeti, who was called to the Adventist University of Africa in 2020. Dr. Tankiso Letseli now serves as the president. God has guided and sustained Helderberg during the height of COVID-19. They were able to transition to online teaching under the motto of no student or staff member left behind, completing both the 2020 and 2021 academic years, with graduations held successfully to celebrate their accomplishments. Maluti Adventist College, MAC, which specializes in nursing training and midwifery, has become firmly established as a higher education institution in Lesotho. MAC participated in a 5-year collaborative project between the World Health Organization headquarters, country and regional offices of Africa, and its implementing partner, the Seventh-day Adventist Health Ministries, through the Loma Linda University Office of Global Nursing. As a result, in striving to become a center of excellence, MAC achieved the highest rating amongst her competitors, achieving a rating of 93.7%. Maluti Adventist Hospital was established in 1951 and serves more than 120,000 patients per annum and about 50,000 via the clinics it operates through the districts of Lesotho. The hospital has a bed capacity of 120 and an intensive care unit (ICU). MAH played a pivotal role during COVID by operating and expanding their oxygen manufacturing plant purchased abroad. As a result, they could supply oxygen to other healthcare facilities, thus generating an income for the hospital. The hospital has received an enormous consignment of health equipment. A grant was received from the World Bank. The specialized equipment included anesthetic and ICU machines and a mobile X-ray valued at 7 million rand. Pastor Jonathan Julies headed the VOP until his death in 2021. Pastor Jay Euster served as acting director until Pastor Patrick Stander was appointed as director from the 1st of March 2022. The VOP is modernizing their approach, with most lessons going digital. On the pastoral front, 157 theology students graduated from Helderberg College of Higher Education over the last 3 years. However, many of these graduates were not employed by the 8 conferences. Therefore, fewer pastors are hired and fewer students enroll to prepare for ministry. This will reduce the availability of theology graduates over the next 5 to 10 years. The 2 conferences in Namibia have been striving to achieve union status. The SAU administration has encouraged this development, and the EXCOM voted to approve the request to SID for Namibia to be granted union status. However, this is still a work in progress. Necrology. Our hearts go out to those who have lost spouses, parents, children and grandparents during the last term of office. We wish to pay tribute to those who served and were laid to rest. We especially remember our union colleagues who passed away. Pastor June Negre, SAU Health and Family Ministries Director. Pastor Jonathan Julies, VOP Director. Sister Tembela Mtambo, staff member in the youth department at SAU.
Beyond any doubt, I stand to testify of a living God who has an active presence in the affairs of His church. He's performed miracle after miracle and has extended His grace unreservedly to the SAU. We have experienced God's patience, His forgiveness, His love, kindness and blessing towards us during this extended term of office. I also wish to express appreciation to our dedicated and hardworking officers and directors and all the staff. Words of thanks often sound inadequate, but please know that all of our employees and members are greatly appreciated. I also want to mention Pastor Kunene, Brother Eric, Sister Mavis, and Mr. Nube, as well as my secretary Lulu and my wife Rochelle. Thank you for all your wonderful support. Following the theme, I will go, and reaching the whole world seems impossible. We fall so short of God's plans for His church. During these last few remaining moments of this earth's history, we pray that we will reach our full potential in becoming powerful instruments in the hands of the Almighty. May His name be praised and honored despite our inadequacies. Yours, O Lord, is the greatness, the power and the glory, the victory and the majesty. For all that is in heaven and in earth is yours. Yours is the kingdom, O Lord, and you are exalted as head over all. COVID. We need to do everything possible to try and rectify that situation. Mr. Chair, thank you for allowing me to respond.
Thank you so much.
Hello, Dumelang. Sanibonani of Goeiemorgen. We are ready. It is Sunday, 21 August 2022, and our session is about to begin. Let's just take us a little back though before we get into 2022's session. The SAU, which is the Southern Africa Union, was first organized in 1902. But this union, as it stands now, was reorganized in 1991. So this is the 6th business session of the reorganized union, which is about to begin. Between 2010 and 2020, the membership within the SAU increased by just over 40%. At the end of 2020, the membership stood at about 189,000. An interesting thing that I read a couple of years back was that the membership ratio in Zambia was 1 to 15. That was, for every 15 members of the population in Zambia, there was one Adventist. That will be very interesting to know within the SAU territory what that ratio stands at. I'm not sure exactly where the population is even now. Maybe I can find somebody who's able to help us. Here's Patience. Maybe she'll be able to help us with the ratio. Hi, Patience.
Hi, Mandy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So the population in the SAU territory is about 66 million, and the membership ratio is 1:348.
Greetings, viewers. My name is Max Letolo. I'm from Trans-Orange Conference. I'm here as a delegate, and we are here just to make sure that we are going to transact the business of the church. We could have done this 2 years ago, but because of pandemic, we could not. And then today, eventually, we are here. I'm here with my colleague.
Hi everyone, Methuselah Mjoli here from the Trans-Orange Conference. Also excited to be here. It's my first time at the union session, but pretty excited to do the Lord's work. Thank you.
Before we appoint leaders, we need to have a strategy and say we want to elect people who will carry this mandate, who will make sure that this strategy is what's correct, was executed or properly implemented. So those are type of leaders we want, unlike just appointing people for the sake of appointing, or appointing people because we are close to them or we prefer them.
Okay, so we are here at one of the registration desks, okay? And the team has been here since 7 o'clock. Yes, since 7 o'clock to help out our delegates as they register. How's it going? Have people pitched?
A few minutes ago, we just had the first group arriving, and we helped them without a problem. Just little hiccups here and there, but they're manageable.
There's a nice smell that's coming from the kitchen. Let's go check what's happening in the kitchen. We are right in the middle of the kitchen, and I found one of the master chefs for our session. All right. Hello, Ma.
Hello, Nana.
How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm good.
Yo.
What are you going to be feeding us?
I'm going to feed you delicious food and nutritious too.
All right.
Yeah, for the people to have a good health. And then they must present us, those who are going there those who are presenting there, they must present us nicely, because they will be eating a nice nutritious food.
All right.
This morning we fed something like 140 breakfast, and all of them, they got food, they were happy, and then now we're gonna feed 400 for lunch, and then 480 for supper. Yes. So after we feed them breakfast, we prepare lunch immediately, and then after lunch we prepare supper, so that you mustn't work under pressure. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and we look forward to having delicious food from the kitchen.
And we want everybody to enjoy the food because we put a lot of love in it. So please enjoy, and this is very hard work, especially for you guys.
All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate it, and we look forward to the food made with love. Thank you. I found one of the ladies who are a part of the security team that's going to make sure that everybody is safe when they are here, or all of us are safe within the premises. Hello, Ma.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good. So what are you guys going to be doing?
We are going to search everyone who enter inside the premises. So we are going to scan them. We are going to check the card. If you don't have the card, you are not allowed to enter inside the premises. If you don't want to be searched, you are not allowed to enter inside the premises. So we are going to make sure that everyone is safe inside the premises.
Okay, the scanning. Can you show me? Maybe you can scan me so that people can see what it's going to look like.
You can raise up your hands. You do like this and this and this. So if this thing is crying, which means you have something inside you. If we have gun, we are not allowed to enter inside the premises.
So we are moving, Siyakuba. We are on the way. We are on a break from the first session of our business session. Our delegates were seated and proceedings have started. So to get all the updates or to know what's happening, stay tuned to the channel. Hello, Dumilang. Sanibonani of Khuyamora. We are ready. It is Sunday, 21 August 2022, and our session is about to begin. Let's just take us a little back though before we get into 2022's session.